So what will we find in a box of nickels from Kansas City, Missouri? Hopefully we'll find some good stuff. Well, there was no enders really to speak of. Doesn't mean we won't find some good stuff in there, and I'll get started right away. This is 4 or 5 rolls in, and I finally come across a 1946. Looks like Philadelphia. I'll put that one away. A few rolls later, and look here, back to back, a 1939 and a 1949. 39 Philadelphia and a 49 Philadelphia. That's cool. Well, I am not finding a lot in this box so far. I'm almost halfway through the box. I have come upon another A1940, 1940D. I'm not finding very many old ones. I have one from 39, 3 from the 40s, and 159. And I haven't found anything else. Well, the very next roll, I pop it open, and the first thing I come to is a 1946 Philadelphia. That's cool. Well, it's picking up a little. The very next roll, I found a 1948 D. I noticed copper and nickel has gone down. What a strange thing. I saw some article today saying that copper has moved in such a way that hasn't done this in 30 years. Something about it's stockpiled somewhere, more in this stock than it's had for years and years. There's a 59, and it has something to do with the trading market. I read through the article kind of fast. I didn't quite get it all, but just bizarre. And the people that wrote the article, they were kind of dumbfounded too, surprised at what's going on in the market. I'd like to see a big letter up there. Oh, 39, another one. Philadelphia, too bad. The D and the S are the hard ones to find. Well, I am past the halfway mark, and at the end of this roll, I find a 1940 S. Cool. 1940 San Francisco. Did you ever watch the old Twilight Zone episodes? In one episode, a fella on his way to work threw his coin, I think it was a dime, into the box to buy the paper, and it just stood up like this coin here. And they thought, well, that's the strangest thing. And it turned out the rest of the day, he could read people's minds, what they were thinking. And it ultimately got him in a bunch of trouble. And then at the end of the day, he went to get the afternoon paper, and he threw his coin in and knocked the dime over. It had stayed there all day, and then he couldn't read anybody's mind after that. With only 9 rolls to go, here's an old 1946 D. What made me think about that Twilight Zone episode was our former president has been indicted here recently down in Georgia, and they're using an old law that was designed to catch mob leaders. And so if you go back to everything that the former president said on that fateful day, and even before, everything he said was go peacefully, all this stuff. And so they determined to indict him on what he was thinking and not what he actually said. Makes you wonder if that's going to come back to bite them too. Let's hope so. 7 rolls to go, and I have a 1948. Let's hope that it's an S. That's a semi-key date. Looks like a D. No silver, no buffaloes, nothing like that, this box. I think I'm going to go ahead and pop open one of the other boxes, either from Colorado Springs or Omaha, Nebraska, and go ahead and go through one of those as well. Hopefully by the end of one of those boxes we'll have a stack of coins we want to keep. Do you know what I'm thinking? Yeah, that's right. I want a silver nickel. At the end of the roll, with 6 rolls to go, I found a 1941 Denver. I saw that line as I was getting to it. It's like, oh, too bad. Oh, yeah, a little while ago, I found a couple from the 50s, and one of them was a 54, and I saw it a few coins ahead, and I thought it said 45. Got all excited for nothing. That dyslexia kicking in. Well, look at that. 5 rolls to go, and there's a 1938. I'd love to see a D or an S. Nothing. Oh well. In the second to last roll, I found a 1950 nickel. I was hoping it would be the D, but it's the Philadelphia. If you look over here, key dates, the 50D is a key date, and a 50 is a Philadelphia is a semi-key date. That's because the 50D, there was only 2 million plus something made, whereas the 50 Philadelphia, there was only 9 million made. Compare that to the 1951P, where there was 28 million plus made. So it's still semi-low mintage, so it's kind of cool to find. Well, I finished the box, and phew, I got 3 from the 30s, 9 from the 40s, 7 from the 50s. I did get 1 semi-key date. No Buffalo nickel, no Canadian, no other foreign, no silver, no 2009. Phew, that wasn't a whole... What I've got is not even $1 worth of coins, 95 cents there. I think I'm going to go ahead and open up the box of nickels from Colorado Springs, and maybe the 2 combined will have a little bit more to show. Maybe a more specialty coin, like a silver one. Okay, I'll get that one going here soon. I am 6 rows in on this Colorado Springs nickel box. I've gotten 2 so far from the 50s. Yeah, this one looks like they were going to try to do some type of nickel art and then change their mind. It's pretty interesting looking. I'd like to see what they had in mind to do. I'm a dozen rows in. I have found 6 from the 50s. I finally found one from the 40s. And it is 1940 and Philadelphia. I'm just not finding a lot. There's lots and lots of 2023s in these rolls that I have found. Well, I'm not seeing them in this roll. The last several rolls, I think half the rolls for 2023. Funny, not this one. Well, folks, I am halfway through the box. I have one 1940 and 9 from the 50s, and that is it. I tell you, if you guys are finding anything in nickels in Colorado Springs, more power to you. I hope you are, but boy, I sure ain't. I'll get to this other half, see if there's anything in there. Well, I can't hardly believe it. A little over halfway through, and I just came across this. How cool is that? It'd be cool if there's a date on it. No. I bought that liquid stuff. Man, I almost see a 5 at the end. I'm at the wrong angle now. I don't see it, but I felt like I saw a 5 right at the very end. I can't see it now, though. Well, I found a Buffalo Indian head nickel. That's very cool. On the next roll, I come across a 1948, kind of dark, dirty, whatever you want to call that, Philadelphia. It's kind of neat looking. Couple of rolls of nickels later, and I find a 1941. So getting a few more things, Philadelphia, than I did in the first half. The Indian head was certainly fun to find, even though there wasn't a date on it. It was one of the 23s. Some of the rolls just have a lot in it. I think they're all D, too. The very next row in here is a 1939. What are the chances? Nope, it's Philadelphia. 1939, pretty cool. Jefferson became a redhead. 58. It's one of my hoarding years. Near the beginning of the very next row, and I found a 48. An S would be nice. That's a semi-key date. It's a D. 48D. I've got a dozen or so rolls left. I sure would like to find a silver in here. I have completed that box of nickels from Colorado Springs. I got a pretty good stack of 50s. Looks like about 4 from the 40s, 139, and 1 Buffalo. That was fun. I wish it had a date. But that is it. It's crazy how little I'm getting of these older coins. I used to get so many of them. You know what? I've got another from Omaha, Nebraska. Let's just go crazy and let's go through that one too. And I'll get all 3 of these boxes of nickels from my trip gone through and see if we find anything else. Man, I hope to get another silver. The first box of nickels from the trip, I did get 1 silver. So 4 boxes total. 1 silver would be a little bit of a drag, but maybe we'll get another one. Here's the box from Omaha. Apparently they just put a box together for me. This was not sealed. And so, I mean, most of the rolls apparently are sealed, but it's not a completely sealed box, but that's okay with me. We will get in here and I'll open up, it looks like 5 customer roll. I'll do those first. Well, there was no keepers in those 5 customer rolled for me. I'll move on into the sealed ones now. The first sealed roll I opened, I found a 1941. Looks like Denver. Hope I find a bunch more of these. Here's my nickel hoard. These are all the Buffaloes I found. I think almost every single one of these have no date. I usually put them somewhere else if they have a date. 38, 39, 40s, and 50s, and when they fill up, I roll them up. I got about 30-something rolls in there, and that's where I'm at in my nickel hoarding so far. Here's another 1941 I just came across, but I noticed this. A lot of these rolls are sealed rolls of 2022 Ds. I've already opened a few before I realized what I had. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with those, but that's the first half. I'm sure the second half is going to be the same, so I'm not sure what to do with those just yet. After several more rows of 2022s, I come to another row, and at the back of that row is another 1941. That's 3 1941s that I have found, all up in Philadelphia. Look at this, another 1941. Is that a little bit weird? Philadelphia. There's a D, something different, 1952 D. Oh my goodness, would you look at that? I did not expect that. I'm sitting there pulling out rolls of 2022 Ds and setting them aside, and I found a roll that wasn't, and look at that. Another V nickel. They are so cool. 1906. That's in pretty good shape too. A lot of them are worn pretty bad like the Buffalo nickels, but that one's nice. That is really cool. I think in all of my nickel hunting, I think this may be my 4th one. That is really in good condition too, as nickels go. Wow. I can't get over that. That is so neat. What a neat looking coin. Man, that is amazing. The 2 rolls that I did open that were 2022D, the whole roll was 2022D. I'm assuming that's the case of these others I'm setting aside, but I mean, it's hard to say unless you get into them, and I'm not going to do that right now. After several more rolls of the 2022D's full rolls, I do find a roll that has a 1940 in it. 1940D. Look at this. All of those 2022Ds. Not to mention, there may be a few more of those, I don't know. But plus I opened 2 rows and I threw them in the return box. With half the box being 2022Ds, it greatly lowers my chance of there being a silver in here. But it lowered my chance of there being a V-nickel too, and I got one of those. That was cool. Look at that, a Canadian got slipped into the bag. 1996. I got 3 rolls to open after this, and all the rest of them are the 2022s. Look at this, with just 1 roll to go, I found a 1948, and look at this. S. How cool is that? Semi-key dates, 1948S. The mintage was about 11 million for this one, which is low compared to most nickel mintages. That's pretty cool. I'll check my book here in a minute and see if I need to put that one in there. Well, that's it. I did 23 rolls I just left sealed because they all appear to be 2022Ds. This is what I got out of that other half, but I did get a V-nickel. Oh, the 48S I did not need in my books. That is so cool. Boy, it's fun to find those, I tell you. Well, that's what I do with those when I find them. I get them put away right away. Well, after I staple mine, these little humps stick up real bad, so I take pliers and just flatten them. Because when I put them in my little case, I want to fit as many in as I can and not be all bumpy. Well, that's it. I've gone through 3 boxes of nickels. I just don't find as much of the old stuff as I used to. That's just the way it is, I guess. I think here in Louisville, and after I go through all the rest of my pennies, and I got a couple of boxes of pennies from West Virginia from a new friend, one of the guys that subscribed, and we've gotten to talking, and he has sent me a few boxes of pennies. Super excited to get to those, but he told me to get through these for my trip to Colorado first, and that's going to be really exciting to get those open and see what we get in those West Virginia pennies. All right, that's it for the nickels here. We'll see you next time around.